Sometimes things in small packages can be very good. I tell my wife that all the time. It's my worst one yet. Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. Today we're taking a first look, run, and review of the new FMS FCX24 Max Smasher. And here it is. It's a 24th scale-ish monster truck. Or according to the box, an RC customized truck for Mud Master Racing. I don't know what that is. Probably lost in translation. But let's talk about that box for a moment because it looks really good. Look at this box. It looks amazing. It's actually got sort of a Tamiya-inspired vintage style graphic on the front with a cutaway showing you the portal axle and all the metal gears inside of it, which this does come with. It is very reminiscent of those older packages, and I like that they took a little bit of time to do something a little unique with their packaging. It looks really good. I like that a lot. It does go over all the features that are included with the Max Smasher, but let's just talk about the truck itself, because that's really what we're here for, isn't it? No, this is box talk with Scale Builders Guild, so we're going to spend 10 more minutes on the box. We're not going to do that. This is the Max Smasher, though. It is a 24 scale based on the FCX24 platform, and I did not get the original FCX24. I didn't like the look of it, if I'm honest. The body style and the way that they had everything kind of laid out didn't really appeal to me. This, on the other hand, very much appeals to me. I like the look of this monster truck, and if you're not sort of familiar with monster trucks, I've been known to appreciate a large, tired truck, but it's not my bread and butter, so forgive me if I don't know all the history and historical accuracy of the monster truck world. If you want that, go talk to Tony over at CCXRC. Regardless, this does appear to be a tribute to Bigfoot. That's my guess anyway. You can tell with some of the graphics that it's sort of loosely based on that Ford Bigfoot truck that came out so many years ago. I was in my single-digit age numbers, so I'm gonna guess that it's probably been at least 40 years since Bigfoot came out. But it is a Ford-inspired styled body. You do get LED headlights. They are adjustable in brightness from the controller. They've got these big, chunky, sort of tractor-style tires. Looks like about 70 millimeters high, which, constitutes a monster truck for sure. I'm sure if you scaled it up, it'd be very accurate to the real thing. It's a nice long bed on that pickup truck. It actually looks pretty good. All of the decals that you see here, they are water slide decals. You need to apply them yourself at home, which is always fun. I like doing it. I think they look pretty cool too on there. I like all the sponsor decals along the bottom of the frame rails there. That's very monster truck inspired. Like I said at the beginning, these are portal axles. There are metal gears in those portal axles. And while it's not probably super accurate to a monster truck, it does help with ground clearance and it does make it look quite lifted, which is good. I don't have any 24th scale FMS stuff floating around, but here is the Ford Bronco from Axial. So you can see that it's maybe not totally in scale for 24th scale. It looks like it's probably a tiny bit small for that. If they're calling this 24th scale, this probably is closer to 21st scale. I'm just guessing. I don't really know for sure, but it's not perfectly 24th scale. It's close though. While the Max Smasher is based on the FCX24 platform, I think FMS learned a few lessons from the initial FCX release, because this body is way easier to take off. They've actually incorporated a bunch of clips, and you can sort of get an idea here. It's sort of this similar kind of notion to what Traxxas does with their scale trucks. You kind of sort of come hither motion on there, yeah, and same on the back, and then the body pops right off. The LEDs are still connected to the ESC, which is 2S LiPo capable, waterproof or water resistant at least. It does have a lot of space for more lights should you decide that you want to add them. There are only headlights on this truck, and they have two settings, on, well, I guess technically they have 3 settings: on, off, and high beam. There are no taillights. I'm really impressed with the fact that they went warm headlights on this truck. It is a vintage-inspired monster truck. It shouldn't have halogens. It should have good old-fashioned incandescent bulbs. So that's the look they went for, and I'm really happy that they did, because it looks a lot more realistic. No other lights to speak of, but let's remove that for a second and take a look at the chassis itself. I'm glad to see that body is a lot easier to remove, and you can see that they've incorporated that into the chassis. Probably similar to how they did it on the initial release, but I do like this a lot better. Nice big center-mounted transmission and a huge 130 motor. One other thing to note, these are unlocked differentials, just like a real monster truck, so you get a nice, smooth, tight turning radius. The Power Dash 130 motor definitely gives this a lot of kick on the bench. We'll have to see what it's like once we get it outside. But definitely a forward weight bias, as you can see. Most of the weight is sort of over the front axle. You've got your ESC, there's your 2S LiPo battery there. It is just sort of an elastic band mount to keep everything in place. Very easy to remove that. And it does come with a USB charger and a bunch of extra parts for the transmission there as well. I'm not sure what is this? What is this big piece of metal for? Oh, it's just a wrench. Okay. It's like a T-wrench without the T part. Like it's dotting your I's instead of crossing your T's. That 380 milliamp hour 7.4 volt 2S LiPo battery will do a pretty decent job of keeping this truck running for a good amount of time. That battery mount can be a little bit fiddly, especially if you don't do it right. I think you have to cross this over before putting it down, but that's fine. That works. That works okay. But one thing the FCX was well known for was its really good transmission, and a usable 2-speed is included as well. So you get a crawler mode for this and a high speed mode, which I think is going to be probably most useful. And probably best to find a friend who has one. You can do a little monster truck action and race against your buddy, because this does come in not just the blue Max Smasher, but also a USA 1 inspired white truck. And that's what's in that box back there. It doesn't look like it because it's the same artwork, but it is the white one. And in fact, if you've gotten this far into the video, I'll be giving that one away to a lucky commenter on the video. So if you're enjoying this video and you want to win the giveaway, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. If you want to see what that USA 1 looks like all done up, there's a photo of it on the box on the side there. It is pretty awesome. I went for the Bigfoot inspired one. You get the USA 1 inspired one. A few other tiny things to note about the FCX Max Smasher is that these are friction shocks only, so it is quite bouncy, and it's not my favorite thing in the whole world, but all things considered, I'm sure there are upgrades that will give you a nice oil-filled shock to kind of take some of that rebound and bounce out of those shocks. Otherwise, it is a pretty stout little platform. It does have plastic links, but at this scale, it's not that big of a deal. Plastic drive shafts as well. Otherwise though, I think it's pretty good value for what you're getting, and there are some nice innovations here to make it a much superior truck in a small scale. This small scale market is certainly taking over. It seems it's either really super small or really super big these days. But there are a lot of competitors at this scale and at this price point. So if this is something you're interested in, I will be sure to put links down below so you can check out all the details and pick one up for yourself. If you don't win the giveaway, that is. Let's give you a little demonstration here on low gear. Pretty respectable low gear. Shift up into high gear. I can feel the breeze on my hand. It's nice to have that instant reverse as well. Seems like there's a little more torque in reverse. I don't know if that's just a function of how the gearbox is set up or not, but otherwise, pretty fun little truck. I think it's gonna be a blast outside too. We'll definitely have to get some cars to crush. See if we can crush this car. Yeah, all right. That's definitely where this thing kind of really shines, I think. Yep, it's a monster truck. I love it. Okay, let's take it outside and come back with a few final remarks. All right, here we are for some car crushing action. This little FCX24 has lots of torque, lots of get up and go, and car crushing action. It has plenty to get up and over these things without any trouble, except when you roll it. That's awesome. Lots of torque, front and back, and having those unlocked differentials really gives it a nice tight turning radius. Like it'll go right around things without much trouble. That's awesome. That's really fun. Max Smasher doing its thing. Now that is obviously in the high gear. Let's see about going back into low gear here. The low gear is certainly more of a crawler sort of gear, but still has enough speed to really kind of move it around. There is a drag brake as well. Those unlocked diffs really help with steering radius, that is for sure. Pretty tight. Still does a good job of crawling over obstacles. Lots of torque in that low gear as well. Plenty of torque to go off-roading if you were so inclined. You want to go off-road with this, you certainly can. No problem at all getting over obstacles, even with the unlocked differentials. Wow. That's an impressive little monster truck, I gotta say. Ha! And under the right circumstances. Under the right circumstances, you can get it to do some pretty convincing wheelies. Little reverse forward action. It'll do it. That's great. Just like a true monster truck. That's pretty impressive. Love it. That's fantastic. Love that. Let's see if we can do a backflip now. Ooh! The way it is able to do that, I'd almost like to see a wheelie bar. I think a wheelie bar could be pretty helpful for that. It's like instant wheelies, it's great. That's awesome. I really do like this. This is a lot of fun. And certainly robust enough to handle that kind of stuff. So that's good to see. Aside from the friction shocks, there isn't much on the FCX24 Max Smasher not to like, especially if you are interested in monster trucks and hard bodies, because this has both of those things wrapped up. It does a very good job of looking the part and acting the part too. So if that's something you're interested in, I would definitely check out the Max Smasher. I think it's a pretty fun looking little truck, and it's nice that they came out with two different liveries too. So if you have a buddy, you've already got someone else to play with, which is pretty nice. My thanks to FMS for sending me both Max Smashers. I'm really excited to be giving one of them away to a lucky viewer, so I hope that you will comment down below. I think that's going to do it though. It's a fun looking little truck, and for its sort of niche, which is this monster truck scene, they've kind of nailed it right out of the box, which is pretty great. To include all these features at the price point that they're offering it, pretty hard to beat if you're looking for a small scale monster truck with a nice looking hard body, lights, 2-speed, and reasonably good electronics. The controller is the standard FMX micro style controller, easy to drive one-handed, which is perfect for making videos, and has all the features you'll need to adjust for drag brake, nickel metal hydride if you go that route, and the multiple channels, turning lights on and off, changing your 2-speed, everything from the radio. One final note, the steering is incredible. They really put a lot of power into that little servo, and it's really responsive. I'm pretty impressed. It's a fun little truck. I think that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again soon.